Finished his big league career almost a decade ago, but still loves the game. Still loves to be out there, but a little rocky to start his outing here in the 7th. A 4-pitch walk to Ernie Clement. So we got PCA coming up. Again, we told you earlier there is a run rule in pool play. PCA will take a strike. Suddenly, the winning run is on deck for the United States in Kyle Schwarber.
There's a couple of bats in a row that PCA has taken the first pitch. That's probably a good sign. The Cubs like seeing that. I mean, it's an interesting thing, right?
Hits one out to right. Thompson started back, comes in. He's got it one away. Throw down to first base, but back in is Clement.
You don't want to take his aggressiveness away, but you do want to see more pitches, see more pitches in the zone. And I think what you said about Alex Bregman being his teammate, helping him with his approach and thought processes might be a real thing.
Yeah, and I talked to him this spring already, and he said that was something he wanted to get better at, is pitch selection. He's not going to lose his aggressiveness, but he just wants to swing at better pitches, because when he gets the ball somewhat in the zone, he can do serious damage. Let's not forget, he went 30-30 last year.
Yeah.
Gets away momentarily from the first baseman, Murray, but not far enough to let Clement advance. Schwarber to the plate. Now Bregman represents the potential game-winning run in the on-deck circle. Upstairs to Schwarber to start. One former Philly to a current Philadelphia Philly. We'll take a strike on that knuckle curve that drops in. Worley finished 3rd in the NL Rookie of the Year voting all the way back in 2011. Schwarber rolls one over towards second. Chisholm can't get there. Clement will turn on his way to 3rd. Schwarber gets one through, and now the winning run in Bregman will come to the plate.
Vance Worley was part of that incredible 2011 Phillies pitching staff.
As a youngster,
Roy Halladay, Cliff Lee, both finished top 3 in the Cy Young, I believe. Cole Hamels, he might have been top 5 as well. Roy Oswald.
What a nasty staff.
Those top 3 guys, they all had 30-something plus start.
But they win that year, though.
What's that?
What they win that year?
No, they didn't win. I was trying to remember who they played. Great staff, though, AJ. Great staff.
Who won the World Series that year in 2011?
Yeah, I'm just, don't want it to be all about us, AJ.
Okay.
You guys are like great stand-up comics. Just the setups keep coming for the eventual punchline. You guys should take this show on the road.
I wasn't going to mention it.
You guys should take this show on the road.
That was my first year working the postseason with Fox, and I was at that World Series that the Cardinals won.
In one of the great World Series of this century, certainly, maybe one of the greatest ever played. Rangers, Cardinals. One of the most unbelievable Game 6s that's ever been played in any playoff series.
Didn't you win an Emmy that year?
Bregman skies it. That's going to head towards the railing.
That hit the railing.
Could this be in play? It is going to fall. I think it's going to be ruled dead ball because it hit the railing in what is considered foul territory.
Okay, so if you go down on the field, from where we're sitting, it looks like that's kind of close, but if you actually go down on the field, that whole railing is way foul.
Yeah.
Hey, that is, I think I might have seen that one time, a lot of games here. That's the 3rd time we've seen that.
I've never seen that until this. We've seen 3 times in 2 games.
Some sky balls. Bregman hits one hard towards left center field. Long run for Eaton. He will flag it down. Good speed there. Clemente will score. Another sacrifice fly for Bregman, and it's 9-1 United States. And now it'll be Aaron Judge to the plate, still representing the winning run here in the 7th.
He could hit a home run. He could hit a walk-off home run right here.
It'll only be the second ever.
No, be the third. There's already 2 today.
There's 2 today. I didn't realize that. Judge fouls it away. So we had Ozzie Albies earlier today for the Netherlands, and Panama and Puerto Rico were going down to the wire. I'm guessing you're telling me there was a wild finish in that game. Darrell Hernandez, the walk-off in the 10th. So there had never been a walk-off home run in the first handful of tournaments. We've had 2 in one day, and if Judge hits one here, it would be another.
Does that count, though? Does it count?
I think it still does. Yeah. If you're gonna play run rule.
We talk about what it means to wear that USA on your chest or whatever the country is that you're from, but think about him. He graduated from the Air Force Academy, was in the Air Force. His wife is, I believe, still in the Air Force.
Savannah is a captain in the Air Force.
And now he gets to represent his country in the biggest tournament, international tournament that he can play in at the moment. It's a pretty awesome story.
Spent his 60-day leave after graduating from the academy in 2017, making his pro debut. He had 5 minor league appearances, and then he got pulled into active duty for 2 years. So he served active duty. Was also part of what's called the Air Force World Class Athlete Program, which allows soldiers to train for Olympic Games as part of their active duty. And also allows you to participate in athletics as he gets the strikeout of Johnson. All that being said, though, in that short period of time, as you see another U.S. Air Force Academy graduate, Paul Skeens.
No, he didn't graduate.
Not a graduate, an attendee.
He said, I'm not doing the whole thing. I'm going to transfer to LSU.
That's right.
Win a national championship, be the first pick overall.
Also, a choice that seemingly has worked out for him. But for those first couple,
are great choices.
True.
For those first couple of years, part of that program is you can't get paid. So he was playing minor league baseball and not collecting a check. Now he was collecting a paycheck through the government as Nick Ward, the pinch hitter, climbs in and takes a strike. Now after a little while, he was able to resume a minor league career as a professional after he finished that stint in the Air Force. But he is still part of the Air Force Reserve, serving the remainder of his 5 required years. You get some flexibility with that as well. You serve about right around a month per year, 25 to 30 days per year. But an incredible story, and obviously with all of that backdrop and context, this is an incredibly meaningful day for Griffin Jacks, the right-hander.
I don't know what his paycheck was coming in from the Navy, but it was probably more, or it was the Air Force, sorry.
Air Force.
Air Force. Was probably more than his minor league check would have been.
I was going to say, some people would say you didn't get paid a lot in the minor leagues.
Yeah.
So the fact that he couldn't get paid, well, it was about equal because you could lose some money in the minor leagues back in the day.
Ward skies one towards the railings up there. Will not make contact. It'll be the right fielder, Judge.
We keep seeing Paul Skeens in the dugout. We have Clayton Kershaw on this roster, and I know they're trying to, they want to make sure they get him in the right positions, pitch or whatever. And I wouldn't think it would be such a terrible idea to have him in the dugout with the spikes on, and then, the game situation allows, hey, head on down. But just to have him rubbing shoulders with some of these young pitchers would be invaluable for these guys. I mean, one of the greatest pitchers of all time on the roster.
Chris Thompson fouls one.
Sitting down there with the starting pitchers. I know he's doing the same thing with the relievers down there now, but to be in the dugout with your starters, man, I'd be sitting next. I'd be his shadow this entire time if I was a young pitcher on this roster.
Maybe Clayton wants to sit down there and hang out with the bullpen guys. That's a new experience for him.
Yeah, that's it.
Maybe he's tired of dishing out all his info to the starters. He's trying to spread the wealth to the relievers.
Yeah, maybe.
Great left-handed pitchers in Major League history. Looking at his former teammate with the Dodgers and Trace Thompson at the plate. Ahead of the count on Jacks, 2-1. Therefore a strike, 2-2.
There's one of the other great left-handers of all time right there.
Andy Pettit.
All-time most playoff wins and one of the all-time great people on this earth.
And this is a loaded staff as well. Pettit's your pitching coach. Got Matt Holliday on staff. George Lombard and Dino Ebel. David Ross, Freddie Gonzalez, Brian McCann. A lot of Atlanta Braves connections. Called strike 3. Current Philly against former Philly. Worley into his second inning of relief. Tagged with a run and a hit in the 7th. Now faces Harper, who's been aboard twice tonight.
By the way, that NASCAR promo, we don't show the guy who won 3 races in a row on the middle of the. I mean, wouldn't you think he'd be right front and center of that thing?
Jordan team, right?
Yeah.
Tyler Reddick has had a great month. Two 2-0 on Harper. New catcher in the game catches that one, so Harry Ford gets a breather. And Willis Cresswell, Will, is into the game behind the plate. A little bit high, and it's 3-1 on Bryce. Cresswell, a current Toronto Blue Jays prospect, drafted last year out of Washington State, doing the catching now. Harper crushes one down the right field line. It is hooking foul. Three-two pitch. This time Harper goes the other way. Perniak's the new left fielder. He gets his first test of the night. And he's got it for out number 1. Will Smith almost had a home run. It was robbed in the 2nd by Trace Thompson. Since then, he's walked twice and hit a sacrifice fly. And that sac fly required a great play by Robinson in left field before he was taken out of the game. There's Ken Griffey Jr. right in his same spot as he was yesterday, taking those photos.
He's got to be careful with this color selection there.
Smith out towards right. Thompson's there.
He had the blue on for USA yesterday when they played, and then today he's got the red for the British.
Well, here's the thing. He did that on purpose. Here's the thing, though. Brazil and the U.S. both have blue. Britain and the United States both have red. So I just think it was probably his most comfortable gear. Good to see Ken Griffey Jr. here as the global ambassador for the World Baseball Classic and a photographer in his free time. He's had his camera both of those games of pool play for the U.S. so far. Our statistician Ed Svita is wondering, is he going to rip his jacket off and show some kind of United States paraphernalia underneath? Because as Adam Wainwright will tell you, that was the catalyst to turn things around tonight.
I mean, look, I don't have to say anything. The proof is in the pudding.
I think much of America was left speechless after they saw you rip your jacket open. Hard hit ball from Henderson down the right field line. It is going to one-hop the fence. Grabbed by Thompson. Henderson is going to slide into second base, and he's there with a double. A 2-out knock. And once again, in run rule territory, the United States will bring the potential winning run to the plate in Roman Anthony.
Gosh, he hits the ball hard.
That was crushed off the bat.
He just hits the ball so hard.
little bit of a down year last year for Henderson relative to where he'd been his first couple of full seasons. And boy, he might be primed for a very strong campaign. Here's Anthony, 1 for 4 with a couple of strikeouts tonight.
Gunnar was one of those guys last year. I think he hurt his oblique in spring training, got off to a late start. You know, as a player, when you get hurt in spring training, you're rushing back. Yes. Rush. I got to play catch up.
And so many times you see a guy miss spring training and start so slow afterwards. It's like in the NFL, you see a guy miss those couple games, or they sit out, they don't play in the preseason. They always look a little rusty, don't they, to start the season? Same thing in baseball.
Three balls and no strikes on Anthony.
You letting him go right here?
Oh, am I ever?
I'm
telling him to end this game right now.
Yeah, this is danger zone for Vince.
It ends up being a 4-pitch walk. Potential winning run is on base now as Anthony draws it with 2 outs, and Ernie Clement will come to the plate. Barry Enright will head back out to chat with Worley. U.S. will be back at it after an off day tomorrow on Monday night. Next set to take on Mexico. Pool, as we mentioned, that they're matched up with, this being Pool B. U.S. would be matched up with a team out of Pool A. That's why that Panama-Puerto Rico game was so fascinating. Again, a game that Puerto Rico takes. So now Puerto Rico at 2-0 in Pool A. Canada got a win earlier today. And the top 2 teams between Canada, Colombia, Cuba, Panama, and Puerto Rico. Top 2 teams in Pool A will get matched up, assuming the U.S. gets out of Pool B. As it stands right now, Mexico and Italy each with victories so far. U.S. trying to move to 2-0 with a win tonight. Clement takes outside.
Vance is going on fumes here, AJ.
Yes. You saw Barry Enright, their pitching coach, go out there trying to give him a breather, just saying, please, just get one more out. We get to hit again.
No swing, and it's 3-0 on Ernie Clement. A 38-year-old Vance Worley. At this point in his career, he's thrown a lot of professional innings, has battled through age and injury. Clement gets the 3-0 green light, fouls it 3-1. Worley's mom, Shirley, was born in Hong Kong while it was under British rule, and that's why he gets to represent Great Britain. And he floats one inside, back-to-back walks after the 2-out Henderson double, and they're loaded up for Pete Crow Armstrong, and the winning run is in scoring position at second now. Oof, big cut. That floating curve.
He's just thinking, stay inside the ball, shoot this to left, right? Probably not. DCA's got visions of grandeur here.
Fouls it away, 0-2. We would see Jazz Chisholm bat one more time if Great Britain comes up in the top of the ninth. We'd see Eaton as well. He's got all 3 Great Britain hits. Nobody else for the British has reached base tonight. Eaton had the home run on the first pitch of the game off of Tarek Skubal. First pitch fastball, he took it out. He's had an infield single, a single in a caught stealing sense, but nobody else has even touched a base tonight for the Brits. 1-2 pitch. Ooh, close, but inside, and it's 2-2 on PCA.
And those are, when you're kind of gassed out there, those are the ones you really need as a pitcher.
Yep. 42nd pitch for Worley. Crow Armstrong will take called strike 3 down the middle. And indeed, we will head to the top of the ninth. The United States 3 outs away from finishing this off. Good effort from the 38-year-old Van Cubs. And after a strong year last year, a 2-year deal with the Phillies. Fouled away, and it's a ball and 2 strikes.
Skeens, Holmes, Bednar, Keller, Judge, Skubal. I mean, these guys are tanks.
Cut from Clark, picked up by Smith. And a strikeout to start the ninth. Still, nobody from 2 through 9 in this British lineup has reached base tonight.
Right now, they're 0 for 24 with 16 punches, Adam. Besides Eaton, who's 3 for 3.
It's not bad.
Strong night for Nate Eaton. First pitch of the game, the home run. He's played a solid center field.
As impressive as the home run was, obviously, I mean, like, you know, he's sitting dead red fastball, first pitch of the game. That one he shot to right off Clay Holmes was really impressive.
Bouncing ball to third, foul.
You take 95 down below the knees, stay inside and shoot it to right. That's impressive.
That was single back in the 6th inning you're talking about, Wayno.
I'll take the homer.
Yeah, I mean, that's different situations, right?
Call it strike 1 and 2.
It's so cool early in this game to see so many different teams represented, so many different jerseys in the stands, and everybody chanting USA, USA, singing the anthem. Doesn't get much cooler than that.
Eaton pops it up. Keller's Phillies teammate Harper is there to retire Eaton for the very first time tonight. And the British down to their final out. The U.S. trying to move to 2-0 in pool play. Another Philly right there. Three strikeout night for Jazz Chisholm. Backdoor slider just missed. 1-0. Popped up foul and out of play. 1-1. USA and Mexico on Monday night, 8 o'clock Eastern time, right here on Fox. It'll be the next outing for Mark DeRosa's crew. Three and 1. U.S. pitching has only dealt 1 walk in the first 2 games of their pool play. That was from Mason Miller in the 9th inning yesterday. 3-2 down to the final strike of the night. Brad Keller home with a 3-2, and he strikes out Chisholm to finish it off. A 2-0 full play for the United States.
Just a dominant pitching performance from the United States after the first batter of the game. Tarek Skubal, 17th K. Tarek Skubal to Clay Holmes to the rest of the bullpen, Bednar, Jax, and Brad Keller. The Schwarbaum gave him the lead, and the USA dominated the Brits once again.
They capitalized on an opening. They got that air that just what they needed. Maybe a little glare from the Great Britain pitcher walking off the mound. Something fired him up. Could have been a jacket. Who knows these things? But there was timely hitting, great pitching. So far, the first 2 games we've seen, the starters have absolutely dealt. Bullpens come in and handle business.
Perhaps some sluggish moments in each game, but the results have been exactly what you want. 15-5 over Brazil and a 9-1 final over Great Britain to start off pool play 2-0. We'll wrap things up from Houston.
Finish off, maybe with some contact.
He's got to be careful with this color selection there.
Smith out towards right. Thompson's there.
He had the blue.